And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week on the Pop Culture Cosmos, twice a week wherever you get your podcast. This weekend show, we'll have our preview of WrestleMania. John Orlando from the PVD Cast will stop on by to help me predict what's going to go on wrestling's biggest event every year. So go ahead and check that out. Also, as well, of course, Inside Sports Fantasy Football, Joe Soro, he will have a nightcap 2 hours long at 8 p.m. Stone is trying to have him drink to death, but I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. It's going to be 2 hours of Joe Soro on the nightcap tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific. So go ahead and check that out. They did go 5-1, Aussie, on the road trip. So glad to see that indeed. But it is, of course, Joe Soro, Simblades, simblades.com. That's why he's so busy lately, everyone. So go ahead and make sure you support him at Simblades, simblades.com. Plus also, he's Ox1947 at LakersBall.com. And of course, also as well, our good friends, of course, John Costa, who's just flashed before your very eyes. He's hopefully going to come back on here in a sec. He is the man behind Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner. Also as well, Empire Jeff TV, Lakers in 5, John McCalian channel. And of course, our good friends, the Lakerholics. Jamie Sweet, who was wrong on the Lakers winning the last 2 games. He said they would lose the last 2 games. Admiral Akbar, they did not fall for the trap. The Lakers won the last 2 games, but still catch him with his 5 things articles on Laker Tom at Lakerholics.com. Plus also as well, of course, Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Yo, he is here. Go ahead and check out him today on YouTube and make sure you go ahead. Speaking of YouTube, speaking of Facebook, speaking of Twitch, Twitter, wherever you're at, please follow, like, subscribe, support. Give the shout out on the Lakers Fast Break. We can use all the help we can. And 1,500 subscribers strong on YouTube. We're getting close to 1,000 on Facebook. We truly appreciate your support, and anything you can do to get us up even higher is greatly appreciated. As John said right there on Facebook, Aussie, he said it's a mature professional win as the Lakers look to close out the 6-game road trip. People were talking about undefeated. People were talking about 3-3. You know what? The Lakers, after a great victory in Milwaukee, took that momentum going outside of a blip in Indiana, strong throughout the road trip, and finished off after a great victory in Toronto, headed in on a back-to-back to Washington, D.C. And despite looking at times a little lackadaisical, looking a little bit like a team that probably just wanted to end the road trip. They just look like a team at times that just said, we just want to go home. They still fought off the hapless but feisty Washington Wizards, despite not, playing the best and prettiest of games. They still got it done today with a 35-point, 18 rebound, 3 block performance from Anthony Davis. LeBron James he chimed in with 25 and 9 assists. D'Angelo hit with 18, but some turnovers there, but still he chipped in with 18. Austin Reeves with 16, and Rui Hashimura, who they honored before the game by the Washington Wizards, got 19, back where he played most of his career. And the Lakers, again, they come out with the victory. It wasn't as pretty as you would like to see it, but again, this was a team that looked like very much that they wanted to go ahead and just get on the plane and go home as they win 125-120. They are now 11 games above 500 at 44-33, still 9th place in the Western Conference, and depending on what Phoenix does tonight, they could be as close as a game behind them in the Western Conference standings, but we'll see. But here today to discuss everything going on with today's game, the great performance by AD and the fact that the Lakers did get it done on the road. Will it change his mind on as far as the outlook for the season? He's a good man indeed. He is a great part of what we do on playback.tv. It's House Lakers Fast Break. The basketball mind known as Stone Hansen. Stone, great to have you here, my friend. Always appreciate you stopping by. Glad the fact that the tornado didn't sweep you in the house up like it was the Wizard of Oz. I will ask, my friend, when it comes down to it, an ugly win for the Lakers. Again, they look like a team that just said, you know what, we want to go home. We want to get on the plane. Let's just get this over with and get this done. They finally went on a 15-2 run late in the fourth quarter to separate themselves enough. And despite giving up some late points, they got the job done.
Yeah, I didn't really, even when it got close, I didn't really have any concern that we would lose this one. Like it just felt like the Lakers were uh, at any point could put their foot on the gas and pull away. They just apparently decided not to. They didn't have the energy or care, whatever it was. I don't know, but they just didn't want to, go all the way and really pull away early. But win is a win. It was a sloppy one. I think uh, everyone watching can probably agree wasn't the best executed game. And I think that if the Lakers wanted to, they could have won by 20 in this game. But there's no need, I guess. You have a few day break until the next game to rest, do whatever you need. So LeBron and AD sitting the fourth isn't imperative when you have a schedule like that. So hopefully AD's eye is good. He got hit pretty hard in that. But again, with a few days, I think he'll be able to play in the Cavs game on Saturday. So um, yeah, not the prettiest game to watch, but they got the job done. They won the games they needed to on this road trip, right? They got uh, they lost to the Pacers, and then they beat all the easy teams that they needed to with the Raptors, the Wizards, and the Nets, and hopefully they can continue um, winning and maybe push for that eighth seed. But a win is a win, no matter how ugly.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 125 to 120. Also here today, good man indeed. He returns to us after a few days off. It is the president of the D'Angelo Russell fan club, the guy behind Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner. It is John Costa, the legend himself. And John, great to have you back, my friend. Always love your insight. The Lakers, again, it wasn't the prettiest of games. It looked like at times the effort there was at the level of, okay, we're finishing the road trip. Let's just get this over with. But you know what? They did just enough with LeBron and AD. You got it done. D'Angelo, enough shots in the first half to get it by. Overall, 5-1. That's what it comes out. That's what it really comes down to. Is just I get 5-1 on this road trip, a very successful road trip, and it puts the Lakers squarely into position. Ninth seed, most likely, but you never know. They could sneak into a higher seed if things fall right. They still have a chance to go ahead and do some decent things this season, John.
First of all, it is so good to be back, guys. Man, I don't like missing any post games. And then the Lakers just decided to play on the worst times for my schedule. They played on Good Friday, and then they played on Easter. And then the other day, shout out one of my friends. He gave me tickets to the Warriors and Mavs game. So I went to go see that game.
I was traveling by Thompson though at the end. Sorry.
That absolutely was. Draymond Green had a big block at the end, but I agree. Clay did travel at the end. But it was just magnificent to watch Luka. But that's not what we're going to get into here. What we are going to get into is the win. You guys, both Stone and Gerald, you guys said it best. A win is a win. So we're going to take it and run with it, especially at the point we're at tonight. But man, talk about playing down to the level of your competition. Like, I feel like that's exactly what we did tonight. Like, we are not only the superior team, but just like how Stone said, every time the Wizards would come out and go on a little run, the Lakers had to answer for everything every single time. But then at some point, the Lakers would get lackadaisical and would get lazy and play down to the Wizards level, and then the Wizards would come and go on another little run, and then every single time, Lakers would figure it out. So to Stone's point about him not really being worried because we had to answer for everything, like, absolutely agree. But like, yo, this could have been one of those games where LeBron James could have been sitting by the fourth quarter. This could have been one of those games where we're resting our stars, because if we wouldn't have played so lazy, we could have had this game put out a lot earlier.
But they do have 3 days off. I mean, their next game is Saturday afternoon, so not too bad.
Not too bad, but I mean, hey, if you ask me, 39-year-old LeBron James, I'm looking to get every single second of rest that I can get for where we're at right now and for him being 39. But as on top, but I mean, to finish to wrap up, it's good to be here. Big time win. Maybe not in the best fashion, but win is a win when you're sitting at the 9th seed and trying to secure a playing spot here. But Joe, Stone, what's up, guys? And Gerald, I'm so happy to be back.
Great to have you back, my friend. Again, it is the Lakers. Lakers, they do win 125-120. Also here today is the Punisher indeed. He is the man behind Ox1947 at LakersBall.com. He is also working very hard. Business is picking up at Simblades with a Y.com. It is Joe Soro. Joe, again, the Lakers get the victory. That's all that matters. And I know you were a little bit hard on us to start off the playback saying that we were a little bit too hard on the Lakers. We just want to keep it real. Again, the 5-1 road trip, very good sign for the Lakers, very encouraging. But I don't want to put so much on it because the Lakers, again, have a tall task as a 9th seed currently.
Yeah, you keeping it real was going wrong a little bit there.
I disagree, but that's okay.
I don't know. You're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
No. And
yes,
as you continue to be wrong,
as
the
you
Lakers
continue to be wrong.
The Lakers went on a 6-game road trip and won 5 out of the 6.
Okay.
So that proves you're wrong.
No, it doesn't prove anything. That does not mean that they're going to go ahead and win the championship here.
No, not at all. But we want to focus on first taking care of business. And right now they are.
Let's hope they do win the championship and prove Stone and I wrong and you wrong and Joe and John wrong and everybody else that doesn't have the Lakers going all the way. I hope it does prove us wrong, Joe.
I know that.
Okay.
Finished? Can I go now?
Yes, you could go on your usual tie right now.
You feel better? If you got to keep going with.
I always feel good, man. It's always good, man.
The key here is the Lakers played better than I thought they were going to play during this road trip. Meaning, my initial thought was 4-2 would be a good trip. They ended up going 5-1, and tonight's results are a W. It doesn't matter. It's the Washington Wizards. They're a downtrodden team. And I just don't think about the Washington Wizards. So you win the game, get out of there, and just get ready to start playing 3 games here that are going to likely dictate where you sit. The Lakers right now they got an interesting setup here the rest of the way. So I'm looking at the standings, and the Pelicans have the 6th seed. The Lakers are 3 games behind them. That's a pretty big number, right? But they do play them before the end of the year. I'm gonna say if the Lakers win out, there's a small possibility that they could sneak in
to the 6th seed. To
the 6th seed, it's very small, maybe like 3%. But the reason why I say that is because some of these teams are playing against each other, and then we're playing against the Pelicans. So if the Pelicans, let's say, lose the next 2 games, the Lakers win the next 2 games, then the Lakers control their own destiny at that point. Because then we would win the season series as well, which would mean even if we tied, we would go up 1. So kind of pay attention to that. Kind of let's see how that kind of develops. But looking at the 7 and 10 teams of what I thought was going to happen has happened. The Golden State Warriors are on a 5-game winning streak. The Lakers on a 3-game winning streak. Phoenix just won, and then Sacramento's on a 2-game winning streak. These guys have to lose for the Lakers to get above them. They don't control their own destiny at this point. But I would say I would guarantee that the Lakers would get the 8th seed if they went out. And I'll say that now. They win the rest of their games. I feel very, very strong that they're going to get the 8th seed. If they lose 1, they're probably dead set on the 9.
Okay. That's very reasonable, because if they do win out, they would be more likely to go ahead and pass up Phoenix, especially with that would be the team that they're most likely going to pass, because Sacramento, remember, they lose the tiebreaker, Joe, against them.
Uh,
They win they have the tiebreaker on the Suns. They don't have it with the Kings.
no, the Kings are a problem. Suns, yes. New Orleans, yes. If they win, if New Orleans loses a few, and then they lose to the Lakers, I really think the Lakers are trying to get the 8. I think that's a position where I believe they have a chance should they win out. They get the 8, it's one less game they got to worry about. That's my focus right now. I'm not worried about the championship right now. Not worried about where they're seating. Get to the 8, and let's see what happens next.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers
Hey,
do
cool,
win.
bro. If you're gonna ask me football questions while I'm doing a show, you're not gonna get an answer right away. So come on, smarten up.
Because we got to go ahead and run the show, cool bro. You know that, my friend. In order to get it to where we wanted to go, we got to talk about the Lakers first and foremost. And it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 125-120. Stone, they do come back very successful 5-1 road trip. They do have a decent schedule. There is some tougher parts, but still, this is a schedule where they can win out if they play up to their capabilities. But as we've seen, sometimes they have a tendency to play down to the team that they're playing against, but they still have options, Stone. They still have a chance to go ahead and get higher up in the Western Conference.
Yeah, it's definitely going to come down to the Suns. I think that's the team that we could jump. The Pelicans, I think it's just too tough because the Pelicans are going to play San Antonio and Portland during their final stretch. I just don't see them dropping those 2 games. The Suns are who have the onslaught. I mean, the Suns, you have Cleveland tonight and then Minnesota, New Orleans, back-to-back Clippers, and then Kings and Minnesota. So the Suns have an onslaught of teams they're going to have to play. That's who I think we're most poised to be able to leapfrog. My biggest concern of where any losses would come from would be this weekend on the back-to-back Cavs and then Wolves. Those 2 teams, I think we could go 1 or we could go 1-1, and if it's 1-1, that just might be too much to overcome if we can't win out, like Joe was saying. And I think it's definitely a possibility that ends up being the case over this weekend. If we get over this weekend, we go 2-0. And then it starts looking a lot more likely that we could get the 8th seed. But the very first hurdle to getting to that 8th seed is winning out this weekend, and it's definitely going to be. It's not going to be easy, but it is possible.
I think the focus and goal of the Lakers should be at least to get the 8th seed, because that makes it, like Joe said during the playback, that's one less game. If you win one less game you have to play, John, in the play-in tournament, is if you go ahead and you get to that 8th seed as opposed to the 9th seed. Yeah, you're hosting a game in the play-in, but still that's an extra game playing. And the Lakers probably will not have, due to the fact that the Western Conference is so much tougher this year than last year, John, they probably won't find as easy as they did last season. So getting to the 8th seed or higher, it should be paramount on the Lakers' mind right now, John.
Yeah, it absolutely should be paramount. I feel like for obvious reasons, I don't really honestly need to state it. We get 2 games instead of 1. I mean, 1 game elimination, it's tough. Anything goes, man. I mean, I don't know how much you guys are tapped into like college basketball or not, but like didn't like Oakland beat Kentucky or something like that? And that's the college basketball. That's the one state. I mean, 1 game type situation where really anything can go. So for me, yeah, absolutely. If we can find ourselves to an 8th seed to where, if we for whatever reason drop that first game, we can still get the winner of the 9-10, then hey, I think we'd be in a great position. And on top of that, if we did already just win out that 7-8 matchup, then we'd be facing the number 2 seed, which I mean, as of today, is the Timberwolves, and I'm heavy on Oklahoma or Timberwolves. So, hey, right now it looks good.
Right now, it does look good. So we'll see what happens there. But great insight so far from Joe Soros, Stone Hansen, and John Costa. It is the Lakers Fast Break. If you've not yet liked and subscribed, please do so to get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break. So, Joe, let me bring it back to you again. I think that John's right in the assessment that the Lakers should do what they can to try and see if they can sneak in that 8th spot. I think the Suns are the most likely candidate. You say 6 is not without a reach. It's not without reach. So the task is there for the Lakers. And it just, again, it goes back to what you and Stone and John and I have said all along is the Lakers should not have punted so many games. And look where they are now.
They won't say they punted either. But 5 games that I can think of that cost them a 4th seed is rearing its head closer and closer here as the season ends. However, if they can manage to get an 8th seed and win that play-in game and get in, they're going to need to also have some luck in not facing Denver in the first round. If they face Oklahoma City, I think there's a better chance of them getting an upset there.
How about at Minnesota? We don't really,
Minnesota
you talk
too. Minnesota too. Yeah.
Okay.
I know people are climaxing at every move from Anthony Edwards, but I'm still not in the Anthony Edwards fan club. I think he tends to disappear too much for me to sit there and tout him the next great thing. And I don't know if Karl Anthony Towns will be available in the first round, so that might be an advantage for the Lakers to take advantage of. If they win that first series, things start to get interesting after that. But we also have to understand that the Lakers don't have any depth like most of the league, except it's a little bit worse. They would have to win with those 5 guys, and those guys would all have to play out of this world in almost every game. It's going to be an interesting one. It really is. It's going to be an interesting path here. Once the playoff teams are set, I'm not counting the play-in. Play-in has to finish for me to count you as a playoff team. And then we could probably predict what happens after that.
Darren, I don't think that SGA is hurt. I do know that they have sat him down for games, but I think it's a case of they're just resting and preparing him for the playoff run. Stone, when it comes right down to it, Rui Hashimura has been a big reason why the Lakers have found more success on this half of the season. You talked about Rui during the playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break live watch party that we did. So your thoughts on how important it is putting Rui in the starting lineup?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just the best he gives you the most out of both ends if you're combining them in totality, right? Like Prince is giving you kind of just one end, Vando and Cam give you pretty much just defense. I think Rui gives you the best mix of both ends, and I think that's important for this team, especially on the perimeter. That being said, I don't think Rui's like I think he does very much have his flaws defensively. And I've talked about them before, so if you want to hear them, listen to past episodes. But I think that of what we have, to me, he's very clearly the best option to put at your 3 or your 4, however you want to look at it. I mean, they're pretty much interchangeable nowadays. But I think that he's very clearly the best 5th starter of the rest of this roster that we have. And that being said, I think he's also very clearly the 5th best player in that starting lineup. And that's sort of how I assess Rui.
There you go. But another player that is really deserving of praise, John, is Anthony Davis. Again, they get away from him sometimes in the offense, and it just befuddles me as to why. But, with a 35 and 18 today, he killed it on this road trip. It was the biggest reason why. And despite getting popped in the face, he still was able to go overcome that. And still, he is determined. His words during the preseason are very prophetic in how he is determined to play the majority of the games, to play to get his close to 82 games as possible, he has provided the Lakers with definitely the play that they need. And despite the fact I disagree with Hernan that he should never be near the 3-point area, he should stop. Just stop. He's a 27% 3-point shooter. Stop with the threes, AD. Go inside, get the ball there, get a better looks. Just get away from the AD threes. It's absolutely a terrible mistake by Ham in allowing that to happen. But John, that doesn't take away from the fact that AD is having an outstanding season.
Absolutely. No, he really is. I mean, as far as like play wise, if you guys have been, watching Anthony Davis and tuned into his game before the Lakers when he was on the Pelicans, he this is what he does. This is what he does on a consistent basis. But the only thing was, as far as like health, and I always say on my show on Clutch Talk, I always say availability is the best ability, and that just he had all the skills except the best ability, which was being available. And now this year he's been that. So he's kept the skills and brought in the availability. That's honestly nothing more than you can't ask for anything more. As far as us going away from Anthony Davis sometimes in the offense, Gerald, that is one of the most frustrating things to me. I don't know if you guys have heard much of that, like new LeBron James and like JJ Redick podcast, like Mind the Game, where they basically just talk about basketball or whatnot. They basically started talking about one time, I think it was in episode 2, about just like this, how simple basketball can be, where it's like, if I have a mismatch and you can't guard it, why in the world would I go anywhere else? And 99% of the time, whoever's guarding Anthony Davis, it's a mismatch. 99% of the time, which is why we were so great at that LeBron James and Anthony Davis pick and roll in 2020, because they were healthy. They were healthy that year. And 99% of the time, when you run that pick and roll, there's going to be some sort of switch and some sort of mismatch. And then you just attack that. I don't understand why sometimes we get away
sometimes
from it.
they don't like to do it. It just, why would you not run that 20, 30 times a game, John?
I agree. No, I absolutely agree, Gerald. And that's what befuddles me. Sometimes when I'm, sitting here at the game watching at home, I'll literally be like screaming at the TV. I don't understand why any other sort of offense is being ran besides that, to be honest. And come playoffs, I better not see any sort, because I understand maybe throughout the regular season, like, all right, it's an 82 game season. You don't want to give LeBron and Anthony Davis that kind of pressure on them every possession, every game. You don't want to wear them out. Anthony Davis being injury prone, LeBron James being 39. But I mean, come playoffs, there's no excuses. And I think, and I've already said this myself. I said our playoffs already started. For some teams, it starts around, I think, like April 20th. I think that's when like actual NBA playoffs start. But what I'm saying is, for us, for Lakers, for Lakers Nation, our playoffs already started, and we already got to start playing with that kind of mindset, that kind of intensity. Understand that how we're going to play, because if you've been watching LeBron for a long time, you know that he's the king. He's the king at doing this, at playing one way in the regular season. Where actually not, and I wouldn't say he's playing one way, but he just allows his teammates to play one way in the regular season, and then playoffs, he just turns it up to a whole nother level, because he's always had the ability to do that. But let's remember that LeBron James is 39 now, so that ability might have gone away a little bit. Regardless to say, man, come playoffs, it better be a LeBron James, Anthony Davis pick and roll every single time. What's up, Joe?
There you go. Go ahead, Joe. You're on mute.
I'm just showing cool, bro. I'm not looking up anything. I'm trying to run a show here.
Speaking of running the show, Joe, I wanted to ask you this. We talked about the bench. I think the word anemic. I think on last night's show, I think I categorize them as the 4th least productive bench in the NBA. And tonight was a reminder, when you wanted to get the starters out of there, Lakers up with a decent double-digit lead, then all of a sudden the bench comes in, turns around, gives up the lead almost, and they have to bring the starters right back in. I mean, that doesn't bode well. I mean, there's a game on this road trip where the Lakers only had 2 points from your bench. Now, mind you, I know everybody's thing is that when they say ardent Lakers fans are going to say, well, in the play-in and playoffs, the Lakers shorten the rotation, which is true. But when you have absolutely zilch as far as a consistent score coming off the bench, that makes it so much harder to even come to the 6th, 7th, or 8th man on your roster, Joe, come playoff time.
Oh, the Lakers are toast on the bench. There is no denying that. And it's going to be worse. The benches.
Don't sugarcoat it, Joe.
Benches are going to be worse in the playoffs, and on the road, it's going to be even worser.
And Vando coming back is going to help you defensively, but he doesn't score points.
Vando sucks in the playoffs, so get ready for that. But the starters have to understand going into this thing, should they get into the playoffs after the play-in, that they're going to have to play 40 minutes. Get ready for 40-minute games. Can you win a championship playing 40 minutes in 4 series where you're going to be on the road for the first 2 games every series?
I'm on the fence on that, Angel. I would probably say keep the starting lineup as is, just because they've found so much success with it, Joe.
What?
Angel asked me, would I put like Rui or Austin on the bench? And,
it's not a matter of
this season. They found so much success.
It's not like putting Elo on the bench and letting Andrew Bynum start. Andrew Bynum was a good player.
Mm-hmm.
You put Lamar on the bench because you had Pau Gasol at power forward with Andrew Bynum. And that particular front court lineup for 20 minutes every game caused havoc for teams, whether they were going to the basket, whether there was a big player that was trying to post up and try to get his game going. You had too much size there that you had to take advantage of. And then you had Elo off the bench because he was a team player, and now you have a starter that's helping the bench guys flow even better. We don't have that. Like, if you put Taurean Prince in the starting lineup, the team drastically goes down. We already saw that at the beginning of the year. If you put in Max Christie, Stone's favorite player in the NBA all time, what's he going to do? And then what? Are you going to put Jackson Hayes in with AD? No, you're not doing that. So you have no shot. There is no talent off this bench. It's if you were to add an ingredient here that would work, would have to be a player being added, not a different lineup. That's why you guys haven't seen Darvin Ham screw anything up this last month. It's because he has no choice. He really doesn't. He has no choice but to play these 5 guys, and anyone else, if they can throw something in there, cool. If not, it is what it is. What did the bench score tonight? 12 points? How do you score 12 points against the Wizards?
They averaged 13 on the
Seriously,
season, Joe.
If there was one game you could have had the bench, these guys, the entire Wizards team is a bench. How do you score 12 points tonight? Really? You could have helped your boys out that have been grinding by scoring at least 10 more points. Can you give them 22 at least? Wouldn't have had this issue at the end, right? But it's just, then Chuck Noll said it when he first got hired to the Steelers in 1969. He goes, guys, it's not because of your attitude. It's not because of the scheme. It's you're just not good enough. And sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and understand that you're just not good enough. The Lakers don't have a good enough past 5 player. They're just not there. So the Lakers have to go into what they're doing right now all the way through. That's all they can do right now. LeBron's going to have to play out of his mind. AD's going to have to play out of his mind. And Austin, Rui, which I've been very impressed with Rui. Rui's gotten better as the season's gone on. And, of course, D'Angelo Russell has been one of the best shooters I've ever seen in a Laker uniform. Austin is Austin. Austin can get hot from three, or he can do other things. He's even improved his defense a little bit. So the Laker fandom are going to have to put their heads straight and focus, and understand that our starting lineup is the only thing that will matter from here on out. Anybody else, any kind of rotation that Darvin Ham does, it doesn't mean a lick. Nothing. Those five have to lead them to wherever they're going. And that's it.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 125-120. John, I have a question from Robert coming up for you and Joe here in a second. But Stone, again, do you concur with Joe on the starting lineup? Because obviously with the Lakers and the actual correction, again, I mentioned it in the last night's show and I characterized it earlier. The Lakers are the fourth worst bench in the NBA. They average 28 points as far as their bench output on a regular basis. But yeah, we have not even been getting close to that on this road trip. So again, it just makes the work harder for their starting lineup if there's no one they can trust being reliable off the bench, Stone.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Joe. We have 5 starters, and that's who matters, and that's it. I mean, when you can look at any game and be like, nobody beyond that 5 is integral to us winning. Like, let's say, I'm not hoping for this, but let's say one of Gabe or Dinwiddie or Prince or Christie goes down with an injury. You're probably just like, oh well. I mean, it's not changing the course or direction of where this team is going or can go. It doesn't have an impact because they don't produce a whole lot on the court. So it is up to these 5 players, and that's the only thing that we can count on, because anything extra is nice to have, but you can't rely upon it. And most often it seems that the bench is going to just come short on a night-to-night basis anyways, and you're not going to get much production from it. So that's something you can rely upon more, and because of that, you have to put all your faith into the starting 5, and hope that it can produce and make up for what the bench doesn't produce. And so that way when the bench comes in, you have a big enough lead, and it's enough to buoy the Lakers until you can get some starters back in. So that's where we're at, and it's definitely up to the starting 5 to carry this team.
John, Robert was asking both you and Joe, where would you rank I guess Castone and I are chopped liver. I guess we're not the people to ask on this. Where would you rank the Lakers starting 5 compared to the rest of the NBA? Shut up, Joe.
You want to go ahead and take this, Joe, or you want me to take this one?
No, you can go.
Okay. I mean, it depends on if you're comparing to the entire league, then it doesn't really look that bad. But if you're comparing to where we're relatively trying to go, which is the finals, in my opinion, then I think it looks terrible, because I mean, you look at contenders, right? And I've said this a couple of times, but I've looked at the NBA, I've looked up and down, Minnesota Timberwolves are cool, and the Knicks are cool or whatnot. Now listen, Joe, just let me finish the point. Listen. So yeah, they do, but listen. So they're cool, they're doing their thing. Oklahoma's doing their thing or whatnot. Cavs through injury still trying to do their thing. At the end of the day, guys, I don't see any team in the East beating out the Celtics, and I don't see any team in the West beating out the Denver Nuggets. And you know why? Because their starting 5 for the Denver Nuggets and the Boston Celtics are just so damn elite, where you could just switch everything, so you don't got to get caught. You don't got to get caught on classic NBA pick and rolls. You have the players you run through. You have You have your 1 guy, your 2 guy, your 3 guy. It's a well-oiled machine. Also, they have a lot of possessions together. I'm over here on this website called Cleaning the Glass, where it just gives you a whole bunch of advanced stats or whatever, or just regular stats, however you want to look at it. And the lineup of that we currently have right now of D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Rui, LeBron, and Anthony Davis only have 683 possessions together, y'all. Like that is that's not nearly enough because I mean look at Boston. Boston's their lineup of Drew, Derek, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Porzingis have 1,240. So I mean that jump is drastic, and that time played together, nothing can replenish that time. So to answer your question, Robert, comparatively to the entire league, guess it's not that bad. But are we trying to compare ourselves to bottom barrel of the league? I don't think so. We're trying to compare ourselves to the tippy top, and it's bad.
Well, I think with Z, and big shout out to Z, great to have her back. I think her assessment of where the Lakers starting five is at 4 to 6 range as far as compared to the rest of the league. I'd say that's fair. Joe. Around 4 to 6 in the league as far as the
starters.
Yeah,
That's
best
tough.
starting lineup compared to the starting lineup of Boston, Denver.
I don't know, Jared. Not better than Denver, not better than Boston.
No, that's
not
what she said. She said 4 to 6.
Okay, so look,
No.
Starting lineup.
Yeah, hold on. Denver's better. Boston's better. I'd even argue Oklahoma City Thunder's better. I'd argue Milwaukee's better. To be honest with you,
I don't know about that. Okay.
There's a good argument to be made for
Guys, you can't be a
the
ninth
Suns.
seed and be in the top 5 in starters. Come on.
There's
Well,
a
the
good
bench
argument
is
for
not
the
bad.
Suns.
Especially considering most of the best teams don't have a bench anyways.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know, guy. I don't know. All right, go ahead, Joe. Talk to him.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. As Hulk Hogan would say, that's not gonna work for me, brother.
Okay.
And neither is that shirt, John. What is this green?
It's this.
What is it, St. Patrick's Day times 2?
No, I'm sorry. It's my high school basketball little
Yeah?
warm-ups. Yeah,
It doesn't say Boston Celtics on it, Joe.
It says De La Salle basketball.
De La Salle. You went to De La Salle?
I did, yeah.
Just
had to keep-
You just shot up in you just shot up in Joe's
De La
index there.
Salle. Never mind that. That's good.
I just had to keep a 2.5 GPA and play on the basketball team, and
Nice.
I was good.
The Lakers are, in my opinion, are between 10 and 15 in terms of the starting lineup. I'm basing it off the results.
And by the way, Rui and 2 first rounds picks is not going to get Markin.
Who?
Angel was asking you and I if
And who does Marketing play for?
The Jazz.
And what do you think Danny Ainge is going to want for him?
a lot more than 2 picks and Rui.
14 first-round picks. Get ready. So forget about that. That's not going to happen. Masai's maybe the only other guy that would do something like that. So forget about Toronto. Forget about Utah doing anything for the Lakers. That's not going to happen.
Okay. So, but where would you categorize the starting line? Because again, this team
10 at the best.
10th. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Whoa. 10th is crazy though too. Joe.
See, okay, because 4 to 6 sounded,
okay, but I think four is too high, but 10 is crazy too though. Because we do have LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Stone, throw some I guess Stoneisms into this mix. What are your thoughts?
Well, let's talk about, if you guys want to talk about it.
8 to 12.
You're talking about there are 11 teams right now that are ahead of the Lakers record-wise.
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily mean they have a better starting lineup though. Can we run through it real quick?
What team in
Nuggets?
Go
ahead.
What team in the NBA right now has a great starting lineup and a sick bench?
And a sick bench?
Yeah.
The Knicks.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Orlando
1.
Magic.
Okay. 2.
Well, the thing is, let me ask you this, guys. If the Lakers were in the Eastern Conference, where would you put them? I think
where would I put them, or where would they be in the standings?
Well,
Where
they'd
would
be
they be in
a
the
4th seed right now.
I would think they'd be higher, in my opinion, because they're only
They have the same record. Well,
But I mean,
okay.
if-
Hold on.
talent-wise.
I'm sorry.
Let's run through
If
these
they were
teams.
playing in the East,
They would be second place in my
they
opinion.
probably would be a 50-win team right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would put them in second place.
I disagree.
Okay, let's run through these teams.
Right
'cause
now,
we gotta figure that out.
with the West schedule, they'd be a 4th seed.
But with the West, they are in the West.
What I'm saying is, if they were
Oh,
in the East with the West schedule,
I see.
It's not possible. But my point is, their record right now is 44-31. Is it? Wait, hold on. Did I get that right? 44-33. I'm sorry, my mistake, guys. I was just looking at the wins. Orlando and the Knicks have 44 wins. The Lakers have 33 losses. Orlando and the Knicks have 31 losses. So they would actually be a 6th seed in the East right now.
All right, let's do this. Stone, help me out here. Yeah, you guys help me out. Tell me. We're gonna run through this real quick. Denver has a better starting lineup. Milwaukee has a better starting lineup. Phoenix has a better starting lineup.
Yeah.
Yes. Are we in agreement with that? Yes.
I'll give them that. Yeah.
Okay. Cleveland has a better starting lineup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minnesota.
Orlando Magic have a better starting lineup.
Magic, no.
Not the
Magic, no. Okay. That's all fair. The Oklahoma City Thunder has a better starting lineup.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so what's that? 6? Because I only have one hand here. 5. Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Because we didn't count that Magic. Yeah.
Okay, the Boston Celtics have a better starting lineup.
We said them, but yeah.
I thought I said Denver. Okay, all right.
No, I think you said Denver and then Boston.
Okay, got you. All right. Golden State Warriors?
No.
No? Okay. LA Clippers?
Yes.
Yes. Philadelphia 76ers?
No.
I'm gonna go no on that.
Okay.
You get the 10 in the
Indiana Pacers?
I'd say yes on that.
Yes on that. Sacramento Kings?
I go no on that.
Dallas Mavericks?
That's the closest one. You could convince me either way. For whatever sake of argument you want to use it for is okay with me.
I think that'd be it. Besides like Minnesota, like
so 7 or 8.
Yeah, so I think that'd be it. So yeah, 7 or 8, I think is a great place to put them.
Well, that's not far off from what Z was
Joe
saying at 4 to 6.
Yeah.
No.
Whoa. I mean,
wait.
Yeah.
We'll
I think it was closer to what Joe was
6
saying.
to 7.
Z was dead wrong.
Yeah, I think it was closer to what Joe was saying. Joe said Z was dead wrong.
6 to 7.
8. 7 8.
There's one
Z was wrong. She's so wrong. She should just be W.
Live a little.
Oh
No,
Z,
absolutely not.
Don't listen to them. But it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 125-120. We're going to head on out, but Joe Soro appears back again for the nightcap. 2 hours. He promised you with a nightcap. So before I get it to Joe and preview what he's going to talk about, John, what you got cooking up for us here at Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner?
Yes, guys, come check me out. I got 2 channels, Clutch Talk, which is YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. It's an NBA talk show. Drop 2 episodes per week, talking all about the NBA, recapping. And then also got Lakers Corner, where I bring you all type of Lakers recap, Lakers news, and Lakers videos, man. But as always, glad to be back, guys. And looking forward to be here for the rest of the games. And we got the tail end of the season here. Got to finish off strong and head into the play and let's see what we can do.
Stone, I know I get you back on. Thank you so much again for being a great part of Playback the past couple of days. Big shout out to Laker Nick as well. And yeah, Joe as well, I guess. You know, he's doing his own inimitable Joe thing. But Stone, I know you're going to be here for Saturday, but I know you and I got to get together to plan some shows so you can stop on by a little bit more often, my friend.
Yeah, I always love being here. I guess I do have something to plug now, which isn't much, but I am back on Twitter and I'm starting to do some scouting stuff, not as frequently, but if you're interested in any draft stuff, I'm just now starting. And if you want to follow me, you could follow me.
You just piqued Joe's interest again.
At report_court on Twitter or X or however you want to say it. So I'll be there, and yeah, you'll find any draft related work on there.
So despite scaring us with your zoom in Laker Tom looks, Joe, what do you have planned for the nightcap? 2 hours, although some people are asking for all night long into the
All
midnight
nighter,
rush.
like Kai Sanat or something.
Yeah, there you go,
You know,
Joe.
I would wonder what kind of show that would be. Would somebody actually stay up all 6 hours? Let's say
Yeah,
if I
they
did
would.
People do it.
from
people
midnight
do
to
that.
6 a.m.
Yes.
Yeah,
Joe, there's
I'll tell you what,
a
folks.
streamer.
I'll tell
There's
you
this-
what. Go ahead, Johnny.
No,
Sorry.
I was just gonna say there's a streamer who literally did a freaking all night stream or like a 50-hour stream. It's insane.
Joe's gonna come in on the
And
nightcap,
he's not even half as cool as you, Joe. That's the crazy thing. He's not even half the cool guy you are.
I'll tell you what. If my game Corrupt hits, I'll do a show on a yacht.
Oh wow.
I got to join him if that's the case.
I appreciate
You
that
will
blue
probably
magic.
be there, G. You're gonna probably be invited.
I'll probably have to head on down there.
'Cause
Joe-
that's gonna be a
Joe's-
big one. That's gonna be a big one.
Joe's gonna come in on the stream and be like, "Hello, brother."
Yeah, there you go. But so what you got
Hello.
cooking for the nightcap this evening, Joe?
I'm gonna have a few drinks, a few cocktails. I'm gonna see if I can maybe get a little tipsy tonight.
They just want you to just go out of your way to destroy your liver on
Just get
YouTube.
turned.
Guys, I'm
No,
like
don't do
Ric
that.
Flair, man. My liver can handle all of it. My digestive system.
You're starting to look like it's
I
caught
was-
up with them now.
I was told years ago that spicy foods would kill me in my 40s, and it just didn't happen.
Okay.
And I actually drink more now than I did when I was.
You need a
in my
spicy
20s.
margarita, Joe. That's really good stuff. Is
A spicy Bloody Mary is good.
Oh, there you go.
I've never had one.
I like
But-
simple. I like the basic margarita, blended margarita, strawberry.
Oh no, jalapenos.
Jalapenos are good if it's a Bloody Mary.
I've never had a
It's
Bloody
got that.
Mary.
It's got that sour type thing. A margarita needs to be more sweet.
Everything
Icy
can
sweet.
everything can be spicy. There's no bad place for spicy.
There is
There
when it comes
absolutely
to
is.
a margarita.
There absolutely is.
And on that note, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 125-120. They're now 11 games above 500, 44-33. Still ninth place in the Western Conference. Will it change? We'll find out. But here are Joe's thoughts. More on the Lakers Western Conference. He might even throw some Dodgers in there. You never know. Oh, and also NFL talk since he was called out by Cool Bro. So we'll go ahead and find out what Joe has in mind for an extra special long Lakers nightcap.
How many
coming up
drinks?
at 8 p.m.
Did Sammy Baugh have in 1951?
I know that was just crazy. I mean,
Really?
and-
These are the questions you're asking me? How the hell am I going to know that?
Exactly. So stay tuned for more antics with Joe's nightcap coming up here in less than 45 minutes. We'll bring it all right to you as always, plus shows on the days off. That's always going to happen right
Look,
here.
I don't have
for
any
you.
arms.
Absolutely. No arms. There you go. Oh, there you go. Right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.